Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, when we got one car on the bottom of the 10 car.
Hello race fans and welcome to ETV's live coverage of the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series sponsored by Bob Earl Racing. Tonight, Richmond International Raceway set for 160 laps. Again, the Full Throttle Cup Series sponsored by Bob Earl Racing. Tonight in the booth with me, Dakota Ehrman, and on pit road, Joshua Harbinson. Dakota, welcome to Richmond.
Richmond short track racing at its finest. We saw Thursday night the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series took to Richmond. It was a really interesting race. We saw quite a few incidents on the track. Hopefully we don't see that tonight. These cars, though, wicked sideways, going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get it started here.
Let's go back last week to the mile-and-a-half racetrack where we set for 107 laps, where the man Dwayne Vincent at Chicagoland would bring home the checkered flags to his second-place finisher, David Lanza, with a pretty good run for him. Although Lanza no laps led, he would start from the 9th position. Eric Brundage, looking for a team still, finished 3rd. He started 21st. Jonathan Goodell, part of that Arnold Hayes Racing group, finished 4th. And how about this? The Stroker Aces Chevrolet of John Abbott, starting 19th position last week at Chicagoland, finishing 5th.
Even bigger story, the 6th and 7th place cars. How about starting 24th, 6th place, Ben Burnett. He really good rally there to be 2 seconds behind the leader, 2.5 seconds actually. CJ Rivera came home 7th. He actually started 35th, with only 2.9 seconds behind the race leaders. Guy who started 5th was Stephen Herring. He came home in the 8th position. Bobby Wetzel, 26th to 9th before it was all said and done. And Joey Katina rounded out the top 10 after starting 22nd, leading no laps.
And also, too, want to make mention at Chicagoland last week, Dakota, out of the top 10 that we just mentioned, only 2 of those drivers led at least 1 lap, one being, of course, Dwayne Vincent, who led 34, and Eric Brundage, who stayed out late in the game and did not take any tires. He led at least 1 lap there. So that's pretty neat. And then Chad Cole, although he dropped out of the top 10 there, he led 41 the most of the night. But anyway, coming into Richmond, standings, the man who we said won last week at Chicagoland will still be the man out front. Picked up his 5th win of the season in just 9 starts here. So Dwayne Vincent, the man on the pole. Behind him, Chad Cole, 34 points back. Cole looking for the 2nd win of the season. He's pretty steady so far, Dakota, but the man out front, Vincent, still got him by a margin. John Abbott, part of Abbott Racing there, 3rd place in the points, 75 back from Vincent, nearly 35 points back from Cole. Guy Snyder would be in the 4th spot in points, 82 back from Vincent. And then you'll have C.J. Lavere, who's about 3 points from Guy Snyder in 5th, and he is 85 back from your leader, Dwayne Vincent.
And do remember that these points will reset when we get so many races in, and we'll have like a 10-lap chase or something close to that. So right now these guys just really racing for bonus points and points to start the chase off. They just have to lock themselves into the top 10. Currently sitting 6th in the points, 91 out. Rich Jett, he actually has 1 win, I do believe. I want to say it was Martinsville. Ronnie Potts currently sitting 7th, 102 out of the race lead. Glenn Campbell, or points lead, that is. Glenn Campbell, 8th. He's actually 3 points. Or not 3 points, I don't know what I'm talking about there. It looked like he was Actually, just about 13 points behind Ronnie Potts. And you have Eric Brundys and Steve Ritter both tied for the 9th position, basically, with both having 202 points.
And now the countdown to green, where we talk about where we're at tonight. Again, Richmond International Raceway, just outside Richmond, Virginia there, 97,912 capacity. This track is very nice, Dakota. Just under a mile, just over half, 7/5 to be exact, at International Speedway here. Of course, former names, Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway back in the 60s, and then also Virginia State Fairgrounds, Atlantic Rural Fairgrounds, and then Atlantic Rural Exposition Fairgrounds. So quite a different bit of names here that this asphalt surface track has been named. Again, the track here, 4 degrees, 4 turns, 14 degrees in turns, 8 degrees on the front stretch and 2 on the back stretch, which is kind of ironic, Dakota. We see a lot of these oval tracks in the NASCAR circuit where they're more banked on the front stretch than they are on the back stretch than they are on the front stretch. Here at Richmond, 8 degrees on the front and 2 on the back.
Definitely what makes it one of the unique short tracks that we go to all season long. We talk about calamity corners. You got to start with turn number 1. It's very tempting to drive into the corner deep to gain time, use the apron to whip the car around the center of the corner. That can be really dangerous, so you got to be careful when you do something like that. When you talk about turn 2, the banking flattens out sharply, and it seems like the wall wants to jump out and bite you. Especially true with the safer barriers at the end of a field run. Look to see cars sliding and some drivers taking advantage of other mistakes.
And, of course, you couldn't come to Richmond without a little bit of what last year's taste felt like. Well, Dwayne Vincent started 3rd. He would finish 15th. Chad Cole on the pole for Richmond last year, and he would finish 5th. John Abbott, 13th. Guy Snyder would finish 2nd. C.J. Levere did not start. Rich Jett finished 10th. Ronnie Potts, who's 7th in the points, finished 3rd last year at Richmond. Glenn Campbell finished 20th. Eric Brundys, who sits 9th in the points right now, did not start last year. And Steve Ritter, 25th last week at Richmond. And here we come to the comers, Dakota. David Lanza, Eric Brundys, Jonathan Cadell, Wyatt Wolf, Joey Katina, Stephen Herring, Keith Brooks, and Bobby Wessel. How about this? All these guys had their best season finishes last week at Chicago. Every one of those guys I just named, they all finished in the top 15. And how about this? Bobby Wetzel has 3 straight top 15 finishes. And to go a step further, David Lanza jumped 8 spots in the point standings.
It's a very long list of names to cover our island tonight, but Gelrus tonight, Rich Jett has missed the top 20 in the last 2 weeks. Justin Wilson has finished 31st and 36th in the last 2 weeks, and also has lost 4 spots in the point standings, unfortunately, so he'll be scored as a goer tonight, looking to possibly have some bad luck, but maybe he can overcome the bad luck and come home with a decent finish here.
And, of course, some of George Wood's, the Professor picks. Richmond is all about heavy braking into turns 1 and 3. It takes a good left foot to turn fast laps around here as much as it does have a right heavy foot. Dakota, look to see the Phoenix and Martinsville performers of Ben Burnett, Rich Jett, Mike Keene to be somewhere near the front by the night's end. I tell you though, Dakota, at Richmond International Raceway, it's a real fast racetrack, and I think the Professor's right. Getting into turn 1, getting into turn 3 is going to be crucial. But, hey, getting out of 4, getting out of 2, that's going to be crucial as well.
Definitely will be. And I'm looking at here right now, currently the practice charts to the qualifying charts. Dwayne Vincent struggling qualifying, so that'll be very, very interesting to see what he has to go through trying to come to the field. We actually saw the fastest guy in practice last Thursday. Actually was not even in contention, it seemed, most of the race because he screwed up qualifying. But when you talk about 3 and 4 being a bad end of the track as well, depending on the setup and driving style, look to see drivers enter that corner slightly different. The common line is a half a groove off the bottom. Drivers can get aggressive here, forcing the bottom into late laps, but that can also be dangerous. Cars really like to slide here. That's what we'll have to watch out for, especially with this Generation 6 car.
And with that being said, we're going to step aside, take you to the track side for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back to Richmond International Raceway. Again, a great rendition of the national anthem there. And, of course, the virtual Thunderbird flyover just sends chills down the back of my spine, Dakota, as the night sets in for 160 laps. And on the pole, we're going to take it down trackside for the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Starting row number 1, the 11 of Jonathan Cadell on the pole. Outside him, the 8 of Chad Cole.
Eric Grundy's rolling off from the 3rd position, making up row number 2 with Justin Wilson in 4th.
Row 3, Bobby Terrell. Outside him, the 37 of Ben Burnett.
Row 4, Ronnie Potts and Sam Edwards in the 23.
Row 5, Rhett McBride and the 13 points leader, Dwayne Vincent.
Row 6, we'll see Jose Gonzalez in the 29 machine, a new number for him this week, and the 91 of Steve Gottschalk.
Row number 7 will be the 16 of Steve Ritter, teammate to Vincent. Outside him, the 5 of John Hanna Jr.
Row number 8, we'll see the 44 of Glenn Campbell on the inside, and on the outside, the 45 of Kel Dresbach.
Row 9, the 27 of Guy Snyder, and the outside him, the 7 of Jeff Addison.
Row number 10, we'll see the 30 car of Nick Silver on the inside, the 84 of Jimmy North on the outside.
Row 11 will be the 21st fastest race car, John Abbott, to his outside, the 47 Nuke, Eric Arnold.
Row number 12, we'll see the 23rd place car, the 14 on the inside, that is Joey Gattina on his outside, the 28 of Bobby Wetzel.
Row 13 will be David Lanza and the 67 of Brian Harvey.
Row 14, Mark Bratcher and Rich Jed.
Row 15, the 43 of Doug Roth and the 05 of Terry Lane.
How about row 16, first time for Brendan Mercer joining the series, and then Ed Williams Jr. on his outside.
The next row, the number 4 of C.J. LaVere and Mike King starting 34th tonight.
Row number 18, we'll see Matt Lacrosse and Wyatt Wolf Jr.
Row 19 will be Stephen Alamendo and then Keith Brooks Jr. in the 71 car.
And you'll have row number 20 consisting of Joseph Hayes and Doug Fleming.
Row 21 will be the 41st fastest race car of tonight, Matt Hoffman. And then to his outside, the number 12, part of White Wolf Motorsports, Douglas Wyatt.
As the field comes around, we are on the 1-to-go lap here before we go green flag racing. We're working to the backstretch here, 2 pace laps before we take the green flag.
Again, tonight's race, 160 laps, Dakota, at Richmond International Raceway. Under the lights, it's short track racing style.
And here we go. Pace car is off. Green flag about to fly. Jonathan Cadell will lead us to the green flag. Pace car is off. The green flag is now out, and Cadell is away. Cole on the outside will dive down to the second position on the inside lane and gets right up to the bumper of the 11. Here comes Brundys, I do believe, in the 94, looking on the inside of Cole already. As Brundys actually has a lot of company on the outside, he falls back a spot, And here comes Cole back on the bumper of the 11, trying to make something work here as we are now mainly single file through the field until you get back to about Ronnie Potts, who's now side by side with Sam Edwards, about 8th position, heading into turn number 1, the 2 machine on the inside of the 23 there. It's new guy, I want to say new guy, Sam Edwards. At least it looks that way as he is running up front, though. Very well, very good run so far for the 23 machine after starting rather well in the 8th position, up 1 spot now as he now clears the 2 of Ronnie Potts.
Keep in mind, last year at Richmond, Dakota, David Lanza would start 6 and actually win the race, led 36 laps, but Landon Huffman, the series champion, would have led 100 last year and finished 24th. So keep an eye on David Lanza, Guy Snyder, who finished 2nd. Keep an eye on those two as David Lanza begins to move his way forward.
And how about new leader Chad Cole? He just went around Jonathan Cadell, and now Brundys goes around Cadell for 2nd. And here comes company. Justin Wilson looking to have a run. He is a goer tonight, and he's looking to turn that around and use that stat against us. He currently runs in the 3rd position now, so he just got around Cadell and flies into turn number 1 behind Brundys. Then you have Cadell and Burnett, I do believe, racing. For the 4th position, you see Burnett just inside the top 5. He's kind of falling off. He's really throwing it into the corner, making up a little bit of time on the 11, but it looks like he's not able to really hold that speed or that close distance that he had on the 11. So now the 11 goes inside of the number 58 of Justin Wilson.
And, of course, just to repeat that stat earlier that we talked about when Dakota said goer, Justin Wilson has finished 31st and 36 in the last 2 weeks. And last week at Chicagoland, he would lose 4 spots in the point standings, looking for a rebound race here tonight at Richmond.
And looking here, I'm seeing mainly single file racing. Seeing actually double file racing back here, just about 27th position. It was Eric Arnold. Looks like he might have got the wall or something. He kind of coming back a little bit, a little slow on the outside lane. As now Doug Roth goes around him. They kind of single file out, minus a few cars back. I do believe you have Mark, or what I thought was Mark Bratcher, not quite. It's actually Mike King, who was just on the inside of Brian Harvey. Harvey now on the outside, still kind of by himself. He's running out lane up for most of the cars in front of him, as you see Eric Arnold just a few spots in front of them going backwards on the outside lane.
You know, Dakota, we talked about Dwayne Vincent, his somewhat disappointing qualifying run. He would start 10th tonight. Now he works into the 8th position as he takes it away from Sam Edwards. And just ahead of Vincent, you've got Ronnie Potts, who's snuck his way into the top 10. Last year at Richmond, he finished 3rd. Ronnie Potts knows exactly what he's doing. He's got that early breaking point in 1 there, and he really gets off turn 2 well.
Yeah, he does, but how about Eric Brun? He's currently sitting 2nd. Looks like he might be actually running down the race leader, Chad Cole. As you see, Brundy's running 20.806 to Cole's 8.19. And Brundy's really making up a lot of time going into turn number 1 and through 2. Brundy's, again, he actually ran Thursday night, I do believe, in the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing. Had a fantastic run, I want to say, and he's really backing that up here.
And, of course, it's pedal to the metal here at Richmond, and as well as all the other tracks. Again, race number 9 here tonight with a Full Throttle Cup Series. They're chasing that Bob Earl cockpit seat, a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit? After all, he knows what it means to be comfortable behind the cockpit. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, an additional monitor stand and shifter mount that can be bought separately. Again, the proud sponsor of not only last year's 2012 season, but the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, a high-quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349. Order one today at BobEarlRacing.com. And what a year 2012 was, Dakota, where Landon Huffman brought home the trophy. But this year, right out front, Dwayne Vincent in the points for about 9 races in a row. But there's a long way to go, and as you said, the points kind of start over when they enter the chase.
About 9 races in a row. We're on race number 9, and I'll tell you what, Brundy's at Coley gets sideways, lost some time, but caution comes out now for, it does look like around 63. This is the 04 Mike King He was about 29th position, lap 14, going into turn number 3. You see a slow car on the inside. Then you see Eric Arnold. I don't know what happened. Like, Arnold moved down. He saw the car on the inside maybe move back up and then turned the 04 of Mike King around.
And that's going to hurt a couple of cars there, Dakota. Of course, Eric Arnold, the 67, Brian Harvey taking some damage. Wyatt Wolf Jr. taking a little bit of damage from that wreck. I tell you what, though, the 47 took a hard lick. And so did that 04 machine of Mike King. And with one caution under our belt, 16 laps complete on the board. This is ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network. We're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break as the men come down pit road for some fresh tires. We'll see you in a minute.
Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980.
Welcome back to ETV, powered by the HD Radio Network. We just had our first caution, and Joshua Harbinson, who's down on pit road, saw a little bit of the action, and then the guys come down pit road, Dakota, for Josh, for an early unscheduled pit stop.
Yeah, everybody here, they want those fresh tires. The cars are so much faster on fresh tires. Chad Cole took 4, Jonathan Cadell took 4, Eric Brundys took 4. Tires and fuel, that way they can get back on the track. They don't have to wait or stop so soon, but they will have to make another stop if it goes green all the way. And on a side note, Eric Arnold, involved in that wreck, he has pulled his car back into the garage, and they're doing their best to get that thing fixed and get him back out on the track.
I'll tell you what, Josh, not the news that Eric Arnold wanted to see tonight, but he's going to have to fight his way, claw his way back into this thing. He's got a long way to go, but he's not out of it yet, Josh.
Yeah, not yet. It's a 3/4 mile track. There'll be more cautions. He maybe can get the lucky dog or get the wave around, get back on the lead lap. And aerodynamics on the car on these tracks is not as important as in like Talladega.
Absolutely, and of course, again, we mentioned Bob Earl Racing. How about this? Gary Mercer Trucking. They got one of their own here tonight, Brennan Mercer. Dude, if your pickup truck is too small for the load, get a real truck to haul it. Sponsoring drivers in several iRacing official series, Gary Mercer, Brennan's father, Trucking Incorporated, provides long and short haul options for hauling furniture, perishables, even refrigerated products, and a whole lot more. With storage facilities in the United States and Canada, CTPAT approved and fast express drivers, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the best choice to haul your load. Give the old pickup a rest and call Gary Mercer Trucking at 800-668-2980 and check them out on the web at gmercer.com. Dakota, again, Brennan Mercer into the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series world.
Yeah, they did an interview with him on In Racing News. Actually said he was coming here and he was hoping to get a victory. Currently running 23rd, 24th. He's got a little ways to make up. But I'll tell you what, we're Green Flag Racing once again. Chad Cole got a fantastic restart, but he has a lot of company and mirror fuel from the 94 of Eric Brundys. Brundys getting to his bumper, but last time that Brundys got to his bumper, he got really, really sideways coming off the corner, overdriving maybe, and lost a lot of time.
And if we go back to Chicagoland, remember, Dakota, Chad Cole ran up front the most part of the race towards the end as well. Dwayne Vincent was there. They were both 1 and 2. Cole was trying to run him down. And then the caution, the late caution came, and Chad Cole got shuffled back and finished 12th and lost a lot of ground to the leader, Vincent.
And yeah, caution is out at Richmond International Raceway, it does appear. And looking to see where the caution actually happened. And I saw a lot of smoke somewhere, but I never actually, I figured it out. It was Doug Roth. It does look like it was Doug Roth. 28th position, 43 car, coming off a turn number 2. He gets the apron and just gets a little out of sideways, catches the inside wall just a little bit, then grabs on the brakes and kind of holds it down on the inside lane until the field gets by, then he gets rolling. That could have been a lot worse. The leaders could have been right there, and he could have nearly made contact with the leaders when they were trying to come by after he wrecked. We saw that Thursday night. That was a close call.
Well, during that first caution, Dakota, I saw Doug Roth. He stayed out, and I believe trying to lead at least one lap. Then that before they went green, he'd come back down pit road and pitted. And then it appears that he would start from the tail end of the lead lap that last time by when we went green flag, and then the caution with him. So bad luck for Doug Roth early on. Definitely.
We paced on lap 25 once again. Tell you what, why don't we try to talk to somebody? Let's get Chad Cole up here. Sorry, I think we've got him up here in the broadcast booth now. Chad Cole leading the race. We've got him on the radios to Dakota Ehrman up in the broadcast booth. To get a copy, man.
Yeah, what's up, Dakota?
And you're leading the race, but it seems like every time you get a mirror full of this 94 car, he'll get to your bumper, he'll come off the corner, generally turn number 2, wicked sideways lose you.
Yeah, he's got a good ride here tonight. I think most everyone is just trying to be pretty patient, just log some laps and get there at the end.
And man, do you think the 94 car, kind of being a new guy compared to you, you a little worried about him? I know he did race, I want to say Thursday night with the Asphalt Assault Series. Probably got a little bit of experience on the track with that B car.
Yeah, he's not too new. We've raced around him plenty already this year. He's a clean driver, so I don't expect any trouble with him. Just a good clean battle, if anything.
Alright, Chapman, what's the strategy here? You actually started in the second position, you finally got around Jonathan Cadell, and you look like you got a really, really good car. Are you just planning to ride around here, and when do you think and how often you'll be on pit road here?
Probably about every 10 to 15 laps if that's how the cautions fall. It's just tires are so valuable here; they're going to play an important role.
Now we saw the last caution was actually Doug Roth. I want to say coming off of turn number 2, he gets the apron, gets all kinds of sideways. Is that going to be the story for tonight? You get that apron too much, or even at all, you're going to get sideways, probably spin the car around?
Yeah, that'll be the case. I did it a couple times myself in practice, and you usually end up in the wall. It's not a pretty sight, so I tried not to do that in the race here.
All right, thank you, Chad. Good luck here in the rest of the race here.
Thanks, Dakota.
Of course, last year, Dakota, Chad Cole on the pole, finished 5th at Richmond tonight, qualified in the 2nd position, as you pointed out. So, in fact, with a 20.000, 20 flat, and then Jonathan Cadell would be the fastest with a 19.927, as the pace car leads them into turn 3 and 4 here, 50 miles an hour. And the 8 machine going to take us back green for the 3rd time tonight. Racing under the lights at Richmond, absolutely.
Yeah, he actually, he's got Brundys back. You see Brundys, look at how much time he makes up getting in the corner. I mean, he really throws that car down there.
Yeah, Brundys was 4th quickest in practice, Dakota, 3rd quickest in qualifying. He's running 2nd right now, and he knows how to put that Chevrolet around this racetrack, I believe. Brundys, again, one of those guys here tonight that's a comer.
Definitely. I mean, you look at that 94, actually has a full-time ride in the Thursday night Asphalt Assault Series, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing, and he is really, really quick in that series. He's running second in the points, and he had a really strong car, I want to say, at Richmond just this last week. So I want to say he got a lot of track time. He knows what he's doing here, and he's kind of showing it, running in that second position, but he's kind of coming up on Chad Cole. Meanwhile, he's got a mirror full of the 11th of the pole sitter, actually, of Jonathan Goodell.
11 is really fast, too, Dakota, as he does start to run the back bumper of the 94 Brundys. Want to make mention a couple of subs tonight. J. Randall Watkins, Jeff Addison subbing for him tonight. Of course, J. Randall Watkins runs that 7 car. The 05 Chris Cable being subbed by Terry Lane. And, of course, the number 20 machine, Mike Montesi, being subbed by, here comes Bobby Terrell. So, a couple of the subs tonight, Dakota.
Now, I think we actually mentioned Bobby Terrell Thursday night, the Asphalt Assault Series race, so I think I actually got to tell Tim his name was Here Comes Bobby, because we got to see him come, but we might see him come tonight. Bobby Terrell, usually really, really fast at tracks like this, or anywhere you go, kind of really comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Looking back here in 26th spot, Dakota, Matt Lacrosse, Nick Silver, some of these heavy hitters. John Hanna Jr. back there as well. Jose Gonzalez, of course, back there in 29th position, 29 race car tonight. A lot of drivers tangling up here towards the back, and just like we heard Sunday in the NASCAR world of things, a lot of this stuff in the back, Dakota, there's a lot of aggressive racing back there. And it's kind of like you got to get where you can get what you can get, you know, at the same time.
Definitely here you see, I'm looking back here, there is a battle back in the back. You talk about aggression, 15 car being aggressive on the outside for 13th position. He has a lot of company there from Jeff Addison, the 7. Addison cleared him, and here comes David Lanza by the 15. Lanza will now pull up and set his sights on the 7, so that'll be Lanza up to 14th, I do believe, and McBride back to 15th now. Not really having too ready to run, or at least when he gets stuck on the outside. And where did he come from? We talked about him running about 22nd. He's now up to, looks like, about 16th. That's Brennan Mercer.
Wow, Brennan Mercer tonight in a 32 Chevrolet. The Viper-looking race paint. Gary Mercer all over the hood of that machine as well. Up ahead of them, again, Lanza up underneath the 7 of Addison. Again, Addison subbing tonight for Randall Watkins.
You see side-by-side here quite a bit. You see back here Steve Gottschalk, 17th position, going backwards on the outside, and just in front of them there was a battle, I do believe, with David Lanza and Jeff Addison, like you said. And Lanza went around, 0-0 going around. I do believe that is, I will say, Mark Bratcher, 21st position, lap 38, coming off of turn number 2. You see Bratcher gets the apron. And that doesn't even matter. It was actually the 84 that will be the cause of the wreck. His rear end steps out. He comes down, collects a 0-0. They both go spinning to the inside. Bratcher gets the inside wall, and so does the 84 just a little bit.
Not good. Not good.
So that'll bring out caution on lap 39. I do believe, of 160, as the leaders are coming down pit road. Chad Cole leading the way. How about Jonathan Goodell? Got up to 2nd, and he's all over the bumper of the 8 machine as they come down pit road again. These two have to come in the opposite stalls. You see Cole pit in the 2nd stall, and you'll have Goodell in the 1st stall. That'll make things interesting as they now come into Joshua Harbison.
Yeah, Chad Cole's car comes to the Bison's crew, vaults the wall. They're going to change all 4 tires. They're going to give him a full tank of gas. No adjustments on that car. He loves it. Jonathan Goodell loves his car. Crew chief told him to back up the corners a little bit. He's going to get 4 tires and gas, and they're going to be off.
And look at that battle off the pit road. It does look like Cole beats out Goodell and Brundys, but then you had the battle with it does look like Justin Wilson and Dwayne Vincent. I want to say Vincent won that battle. Maybe.
You know, a lot of the time, Dakota, some races are won off pit road, and I tell you, that was a pretty good battle that we just saw off pit road, and again with some strategies too. You know, right sides versus taking full sides. But we heard Josh talk about He mentioned that the drivers and crew chiefs were talking about 4 tires, 4 tires, 4 tires. We heard Chad Cole and you talk earlier with the interview. Chad Cole, 4 tires anytime you come down. But hey, advantage, track position possibly.
Jose Gonzalez staying out here in the 29 machine. He's going to stay out currently, as I believe he may come down this time, just maybe leading a lap or so. But Rolly Page here at Richmond International Raceway. Going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to ETV's live coverage of Richmond International Raceway Full Throttle Cup Series.
And we're back racing here, green flag racing. Jose Gonzalez stayed out. He's away on fresh on the old tires. He's beating Jonathan Cadell. Chad Cole, terrible restart, back to 4th. He's now working all over the bumper of the 58 of Justin Wilson. He knows it's time to go. He can't really lose many spots, like 45 or 160. He's got a lot of company from Eric Brundy's a 94 machine falling in behind him in the 5th position. Here comes Cadell. He's all over the bumper of the 29 for the lead. As you see at the same time, oh, Cole was making contact. If he didn't with the 58, he's telling the 58, get out of the way, man, I gotta go. And there goes Cadell around the 29 for the race lead as they battle for 2nd position behind them.
Wow, Chad Cole talking about losing some spots there. Dakota Cadell now to the lead. We know he's the fastest. He qualified on the pole, and there he is out front, getting by that 29 of Jose Gonzalez. And then Chad Cole's running 3rd, and you got that green and white looking Chevrolet running 4th.
You see Jose Gonzalez running 2nd, just really spun the tires or spun something coming off the corner. He got all kinds of sideways, gave up the spot basically to the 8, let the 8 go by on the outside lane. There goes the 85, or says the 85 as well, or 58 there of Justin Wilson. He'll claim the spot, and here comes Eric Brundy's now to the outside of the 29 machine of Jose Gonzalez on those old tires. He's kind of made up. Oh, it's, Jose Gonzalez makes contact with the 94. That lets the 94 fall back, and Dwayne Vincent pull up to the, it does look like the 4th position, 5th position, and he now comes underneath Jose Gonzalez for 4th. He will clear Jose Gonzalez and take over the 4th position, and Brundy's trying to follow. As you see, Jose Gonzalez not really giving him a whole lot of room, kind of taking the inside lane back over. Up front, though, it is Jonathan Cadell leading Chad Cole.
And when you mentioned the 94 of Eric Bundy's Dakota last year, we can't get an idea of how he did. He did not start in Richmond, race number 26 of the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series in 2012. But tonight, looking pretty good out there.
And here comes Cole. He made up a lot of ground through the corner, but he gets all kinds of sideways coming off the corner, that's for sure. And there goes, that time he made up, I think he just got too much sideways. He lost everything that he had made up. And then you have Justin Wilson behind him, kind of following in pursuit. What Cole needs is the clean air, I think, right now, and that's what he's looking for as he follows the 11 machine. And watching those two go at it, still riding kind of single file here. Looking back to the field just a little bit. Jose Gonzalez now being passed by Ronnie Potts, and here comes, I do believe, I want to say it's Ben Burnett also going by, and then you'll have the 23 behind him of Sam Edwards, and I want to say the rain car as he's running down the 29 machine. And I think we're welcoming Josh Harbison up into the broadcast booth to join me momentarily. Josh, glad to have you up here.
Hey, glad to be up here. I'm not normally up here.
A rare occasion as we work lap 54 now of 160. Watching up front the battle here, it was and is Jonathan Cadell and Chad Cole, but they have a lot of company coming. Points leader up to fourth, and he's looking for third. He's all over the bumper of the 58 of Justin Wilson.
Yeah, he's gonna have Dwayne Vincent. He's got a good car. He's always up front somewhere. He's gonna make that car get to the front one way or the other. They just better watch out.
And up front, second position, it was Cole. He checked up or something. He did something wrong. It cost him some time. The 58 got a good run, threw the car down the inside. Cole gave him the room, and now they're side by side. Cole gets a little sideways. He saves it. He's going to fall back. It does look like the third. He's trying to hang on the outside lane for all he can, but I don't know that it's working. As now here comes Dwayne Vincent, and behind Vincent you have the Brundy's machine, the 94 machine. He's coming in a hurry as well, so I don't think Cole is going to get this gap to the inside like he needs, but he's not giving up. He's still working the outside of the 13, and he's not letting him go easily.
Nah, dude, Brundy's isn't going to let him in, and coming up behind them, Bobby Terrell, if he catches, he's not going to let him in, so Chad Cole's going to keep going back if he can't get in line one way or the other.
Speaking of Bobby Terrell, actually started in the 5th position, currently running in 6th. Here comes Bobby, maybe making a run towards the front as he's going to be looking to get around Chad Cole. If Brundy's can't clear Cole, Cole really not liking this going backwards thing. I can tell you that now. Terrell gets a little sideways. That'll cost him some time. That'll allow the 8, as the 8 gets sideways as well, to fill the spot and get back in line on the inside lane. And that just goes to show how one mistake can cost you just about 2 or 3 positions on the racetrack. He went from 2nd to 5th in just a few laps because he was stuck on the outside after making just what seemed like one mistake.
Yeah, just messing up one time, it'll definitely knock you out of your own rhythm, and once that happens, you have to get back in it, but you also have to get back in it with other cars passing you, so it makes it even harder to do that.
Now up front, you look at the battle for second. It is Vincent all over the bumper of the 58 of Wilson. He almost made contact. I mean, he's coming in a hurry. Vincent really all over that bumper. If he can find the room, he's going to go for it. He almost makes contact once again, coming really, really close to that 58 machine. Just really struggling, it looks like, to find a hole around him. I think he's wanting to do it cleanly. And that can be one tough thing to do at Richmond International Raceway. You just see Wilson kind of bobble a little bit going down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. He's all right. Vincent kind of entering just a little bit higher, but he's looking to make up some kind of ground. You see Vincent actually losing some, though.
Yeah, I think he thinks right now is not the best time in the race to actually push the issue. If this was later in the race, I'm pretty sure he would move Justin Wilson, but right now he's probably okay just to run 3rd at the moment.
And about Chad Cole goes around Bobby Terrell for 5th, so that'll move Bobby back to 6th, and Ronnie Potts coming up on him in a hurry, as well as Sam Edwards behind him. Ben Burnett 9th. Looks like we have the 48 is out of the race in 40th, but then the 10th place car is Dave Lanza. He just got around Jose Gonzalez, who again started on old tires, actually started from the lead back to 11th in just a small run. He has a lot of company now from the 4 car in 12th position of CJ LeVere. You see Jose Gonzalez move up to the outside lane, LeVere down to the inside, giving plenty of room here as LeVere dives down. He'll be side by side with the 29 now, and will clear the 29 easily.
Yeah, Jose Gonzalez is suffering on those old tires. I was talking to some of the drivers beforehand. They said that anytime that they can come in and get fresh tires, they're going to. Jose Gonzalez stayed out, and you can see why everybody wants those fresh tires. He's dropped back to 12th place from leading the race at the restart.
And I'll tell you what, going through this field quite a bit. How about Matt Hoffman? I want to say he started well in the back. 41st position for Matt Hoffman. He's currently running 26th on the lead lap, 9 seconds out of the lead. He's actually working inside of another car. What's that? Is a Ford there to his Chevy. That is Kev Resback on the outside lane. As that number 40 car now, really, he might actually be able to get around this 45 really without a problem, and he does. Matt Hoffman up to, it doesn't look like, 25th position, and John Abbott right in front of him. I want to say he was a contender in the points, currently sitting in that 24th position. You have also Matt Lacrosse up there. I saw Matt just a few laps ago come off of turn number 4. He got all kinds of sideways. That really brought the 10 to him, and the 10 has not left his bumper since then.
Yeah, and I've been watching Guy Snyder, the 4th. His car has been really loose. He's actually dropped back quite a few positions. He is, last time I saw him, he was 10th. He has now scored in 20th, so he's lost 10 positions because of his loose car.
While up front, Jonathan Goodell is pulling away from the second-place car of Wilson. Wilson has a lot of company still. That 13 not leaving the 58 alone. 58 not appreciating it, but nothing he can do as he just tries to catch the 11 car, and the 13 has to follow. And as we work lap 70 here of 160 at Richmond International Raceway, we're going to go ahead and step away, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more green flag racing action from Richmond International Raceway and the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, sponsored by Bob Earl Racing.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
And welcome back, folks, to ETV, powered by the HD Radio Network. Just under caution there. Richmond International Raceway, Dakota, another victim at Richmond.
Yeah, that victim will be the 38th place car, Douglas Wyatt, lap 72, front stretch. Came off of turn number 4. I want to say he got the outside wall hard. I don't even think he got it hard. He just got it enough that it shot the car down. He came down and collected, I want to say, the 30 of Nick Silver. Both cars would kind of spin down low. They kept it down low, and they only collected those two cars. Unfortunately, the 30 car will be collected, but they're all right and kept rolling. May have a little bit of damage here, though.
And Josh, you saw a couple cars come down to you. A couple cars already a lot of damage tonight. A couple of cars replicating a little bit of a damage situation earlier when we had some rubbing fenders. And of course the guys who hadn't started rubbing quite yet because it's still early, but they came down to you on pit road.
Yeah, the top 5 came in, took 4 tires and fuel. Actually, Eric Brundy's, he ended up he ended up having a lug nut fall off the tire, and they had to put that back on. And yeah, there's a lot of bear bond coming out trying to fix damage.
And how about this, Dakota, being scored first right now, the 32 machine, Brennan Mercer. Got the Gary Mercer Trucking logo on the front of that teal-looking car with a Viper-looking paint scheme on it, the black and gray that you see overhead of the car. That's Brennan Mercer, and he will lead this lap. The lights are on the pace car still, so we could see him come back down pit road maybe next time by. And then he's followed by Jonathan Cadell, who runs second, Justin Wilson, 58 machine that you see there in third. And of course, the Black Dahlia, Dwayne Vincent, the man who's dominated so far, 5 wins on the season. He sits fourth. Chad Cole sits fifth. And then sixth place, Bobby Terrell. Again, Bobby being subbed in tonight. Bobby's a sub driver tonight. Behind him, the 94 of Eric Brundy's, who Josh mentioned had a lug nut fall off. As you see Brennan Mercer come down pit road there, so Cadell will pick up the lead now. Following that pursuit, though, 8th, this is the number 2 car, the Deuce of Ronnie Potts. 9th, the 33, Mr. Excitement, I'm going to start calling him, David Lanza. And then rounding out the top 10, the 23 car, Sam Edwards, newcomer, rookie to the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, as the pace car leads us down into turns 1 here, as John Wessling focuses on the wave around Jimmy North.
Would be the inside sim racing lucky dog, I do believe, Michael Keaton.
Good deal. Inside Sim Racing, also the Thursday night proud sponsor of the Asphalt Assault Series, again with Derek Spear Designs, of course. As the pace car gets set to take us to the green flag, Jonathan Cadell, the man who would start us tonight's race, will start us here on lap 79 as he completes it. He'll take the lead into turn 1, and now Vincent to the inside of Wilson. As caution's back out, Dakota, and this one's going to start near the mid-pack.
Yeah, I do believe it is David Lanza. I see his hood kind of knocked off as he spun around. Whole front end kind of tore off of that car. It was Lanza. Lap 79 going into turn number 1. He gets a lot of help from the 37 of Ben Burnett, I do believe. Gets the outside wall, collects, I do believe, Glenn Campbell. Then there's a number of other cars that could have or were collected in that incident.
And that's going to absolutely end David Lanza's run here tonight. Of course, David Lanza outside the top 10 in the point standings as it is now. But he surely didn't need that, as you see the E-Wine now. Here you see David Lanza top screen, the black and gray car, 33. There you see the 37 of Burnett go on by as the 33 engine being blown right there. Glenn Campbell in the 44 Penske Ford comes in and takes a little slam if he lands a machine as well. So we'll have to get some confirmation down on pit road with Joshua Harbinson on the 44's car's condition.
Yeah, Glenn Campbell came down. He was had him perfect damage, get some tires done. He likes his car, but that's about it. It's
Well, he's really going to dislike his car now, as he just plowed into the back end of the Lanza machine, Dakota. And, you know, sometimes at Richmond and these short track racing style venues, that's what it's like. You know, it's like being in Talladega, being in the big one. You know, you got 3 wide action in front of you, 3 wide behind you, and then all of a sudden you can be the victim of someone else's mistake.
You know, the last caution, we had somebody stay out until the very last lap before they pitted, came down, got 4 tires. I know it was a celebrity crying out, interview me, I want an in-car interview, and that would be Brennan Mercer. Brennan Mercer, first race in Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. Brennan, welcome to the series. You're running 28th after starting 31st, man.
Well, the Gary Mercer Trucking Chevrolet was running pretty stout, but I'm having some connection problems. So I think I'm just going to ride around the back here and see what's going on here, and hopefully it fixes itself. But right now I think I'm going to get in people's way with my connection problems, so I'm just going to hang out in the back.
Brennan, I know this is the first week for you here. You got any plans to come back for a few more weeks or the rest of the season and all the next season? What's the plan here?
Yeah, we're hoping the boys at the back of the shop want to run the rest of the series, so we'll see what we can do, and hopefully we can get some cars out here. I think we're going to Daga next week, and then we'll figure it out after that.
I know you got to qualify in every week. Do you think you can manage to do that every week, or is that going to be a bit of a struggle for you?
For Richmond here, I practiced my butt off to get into this show, and I practiced all week, and then I hit a 1, so that got me in. So we'll figure it out as we go. I know Dega is a little bit more of a crapshoot, so after that, I think I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty sure I can get everything else in for the rest of the shows, but Dega might be a question next week.
And I mentioned your In-Racing News interview there, and I know you mentioned you wanted to get a win here in this series. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm pretty sure that, I'm going to have to play some pit strategy. I know that Chad Cole is one of the favorites here, and some of the other guys up there, and hopefully I can get to the front.
All right, thank you, Brennan, and we'll let you get back to racing here. Good luck the rest of the race, man.
Thanks, appreciate it, boys.
There you have it from Brennan Mercer, driver tonight of the 32 machine. Lucky Dog, the 00, Buckshot Jones of Mark Bratcher. That'll put him back on the lead lap. 31 of them, Dakota, on the lead lap from 32nd on back. They're at least one lap or all the way back to where Eric Arnold sits, 42nd, 68 laps down.
And it is only 84 laps into the 160, less than 80 laps to go here, though, at Richmond International Raceway with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series sponsored by Bob Earl Racing. We're getting double file here, getting set for the green flag. That means the pace car lights are off, and we will go back green flag racing this time by. Cadell will lead us to the green. We'll have Dwayne Vincent on his outside points leader. You have Justin Wilson and Chad Cole, runner-up in points, will be behind the points leader on the outside. You have Brundys and Terrell making up the next row. Ronnie Potts and Sam Edwards, CJ LeVere, and Jose Gonzalez.
Mighty good-looking cars out there tonight under the lights here at Richmond International Raceway, a track that's just over half a mile and under half a mile. 7/5 of a mile here at Richmond in Virginia as Cadell sets us to the green. Justin Wilson right behind him. Green flag's out. Pretty good restart there for the number 11 Cadell car.
Yeah, decent restart, but he's got a lot of company. Here comes the 13 points leader outside. He's not going to have it. He's going to fall back. He's still got a lot of company. 58 on the inside. That's Wilson. Wilson much sticking with him, and you have Cole back there. Cole remembers what Vincent did to him. Remember when Cole got stuck on the outside lane? That really cost Cole. Vincent was one of those cars that went by. You know Cole's looking to return the favor here. He wants to send Vincent to the back. Even if Vincent's able to get close to clearing the 58, he's got to be able to clear the 11 too. That's a whole other story.
And how about this? That's the 2 points leaders battling it out for third and fourth. Cole to the inside in third. Vincent to the outside, and he'll let off the throttle as Brundys now slips his ninth place in points machine underneath Vincent. As they exit turn 2, Vincent now to the outside as caution falls once more at Richmond, and then this one's going to collect a whole bunch of them, Dakota, down the front stretch, and it looks like it's going to start with the 71 in 21st position of Keith Brooks Jr. as he just gets that machine sideways off turn 4, and it's actually going to collect another car that comes through there at the end.
Yeah, I'm watching this. He comes up, gets sideways, comes down, comes back up, comes back down. He almost got the 43. You see a lot of checking up behind him. And I see the 67 ends up in the back of somebody else. This is, again, just about, if you look around here, 67, he was 40th position, so lap 75 for him going to the tri-oval. Lap 76, actually, and he'll actually get into a few cars. A big checkup, though, when some cars not checking up. Or not knowing where to go. You see the 67 even comes down and collects the 00 before it's over there.
Yeah, and Brian Harvey got collected in that as well, Dakota, as you mentioned, but the 30 machine of Nick Silver, 100 miles an hour, came right through there, getting into the back rear of the 67 of Harvey. And how about this? Mark Bratcher, who just received the lucky dog, was slowing up for the accident, and Harvey just, no control of the race car after wrecking, come down and just collected Bratcher, sent Bratcher up into the wall. It's nowhere safe on the racetrack at Richmond.
And nowhere is safe at Richmond International Races. Raceway, excuse me there, but say there might be one safe place, and that will be currently where the 11 car sits, Jonathan Goodell, and it's not really often that we see the 11 run the way he is. He's having a fantastic run here, and that is Goodell.
Yeah, Goodell having a great run, Dakota. Back on lap 22, he would turn the fastest lap of his race at 20.229. Nowhere near the time that he put on the quickest qualifying board with a 19.927. In fact, I don't see anyone hitting a 19 in the race, so Goodell may have set a record here tonight, the fastest lap.
What you'll see here is in practice, these guys, they go straight out and make a lap. And, you know, when they have this race runs, generally they have laps of pacing on these tires. That will change the tire wear compared to what it would be on those fresh tires just going straight out and running a lap. And that's why you see these guys kind of slowing down lap times. It even handles maybe just a little bit different than it would on a normal hot lap, because it has a little bit of heat in it, or a heat cycle in it, almost somewhat in a way. It's because of the fact that, you know, the first lap out, these guys had already paced for 2 laps. That's more different than any other track, because generally it's only 1.
That is true. And of course now, again, as Dakota mentioned earlier, a little over halfway. I like to call it the halfway, where are they, top 10. And top 10 in points, that is, Dwayne Vincent, currently on the racetrack, 5th. Chad Cole, driver of the number 8 Chevrolet, showing in 2nd in the points. He's 3rd on the racetrack. John Abbott, who sports the number 10 machine, 14th tonight on the racetrack currently. Guy Snyder back in his car number position, Dakota, 27th. And you have C.J. Levere up next. C.J. Levere running in the top 10 and 9th. Rich Jett, 23rd position tonight. Ronnie Potts, the Deuce, running 7th. Glenn Campbell, the 44, got into some trouble earlier, Dakota, but he's trying to manage his way back up into the top 10 and 10th. And then you'll have Eric Brundy's, the 94 machine, 4th. And Steve Ritter, teammate to points leader Dwayne Vincent, he runs back in 21st. Long way to go still, though.
Definitely still is a long way to go, but we're getting a little closer as we work through 3 and 4. The pace car dives, the flagman waves the green flag. Jonathan Goodell is away, and so is the rest of the field here.
And what a great start for Goodell there to take this back green here. Let's work back to 5th or 6th spot here, where you see the 94 of Eric Brundy's, Vincent there. Then you got behind them Sam Edwards, the 20 machine. Bobby Terrell subbing tonight. Ronnie Potts, the Deuce, side by side coming down the front stretch. 23 of Sam Edwards up high. Gonna try to pinch Potts down to the bottom there.
I'll say that's Sam Edwards from Gale Force. Oh, Brundy's around, makes contact with points leader Terrell.
Oh man, this is going to collect a lot of drivers, Dakota. The 40 machine. Doug Roth, parking lot. Matt Hoffman, Steve Ritter, Matt Lacrosse, Rich Jett, Doug Fleming, the 27 car going to be involved. Whole host of cars involved, and it's going to start with the 94 that you see Ewind up there. He's the blue and yellow. Keep an eye on him. Right there coming out of turn 2. Down the back stretch, you'll see Justin Wilson up in that white and green car. Get a loose, but there's Brundy's mid-screen coming down on points leader Vincent. And then you see the left wheel start to cock sideways to try to save that car, but Muscle Milk right in the middle is going to be able to avoid it for the most part. And then you'll see that 20 car do a fabulous job of saving at least a little bit of the damage on the car, as he will cremate the turn 3 there.
Dwayne Vincent obviously not with didn't take away much damage. Stayed out on track, still running 4th.
Man, I tell you what, Dakota, that's like a Talladega type wreck there. I mean, you know, it's like the big one at Richmond, you know, International Raceway. It's one of those things where you see one car start to spin, and oh man, take a look at the 94 car of Eric Brundy's there. It is totally destroyed. Josh, what's the crew chief saying about Eric Brundy's?
Well, right now, Eric Brundy's is going to pull it back into the garage, and they're going to see what they can do about the damage and see if they can get him back on the track. They're now racing for points and not racing for position.
Josh, we've also seen the 43 machine of Doug Roth down pit road quite a bit, looking at the damage on that car. Looks to be the crew's still got a lot of work to do. He's back in 27th position, somehow managing to stay on the lead lap here. And I'll tell you what, if things keep going the way they are, you might see Doug Roth crack a top 15 here tonight.
Yeah, crew's working really hard. They that last pit stop it came down. They said the car was okay as long as it handled well, and he hasn't come back in. So he's not liking, but he can drive this car. So we'll see what happens.
Dakota, about 15 laps ago, we had 31 drivers on the lead lap. Now, with 98 into the board, 99 now being complete by the race leader, we'll have 28 all the way back to the 16 of Steve Ritter, who was caught up in that accident. He'll be the last one on the lead lap.
I'll tell you what, one of those guys that was looking like a beneficiary was Brendan Mercer. He went up to the 18th position, but I'll tell you what, these guys have essentially a number rating basically how their electrical components in the car are doing. Generally 66 to maybe 150 is a good number. See, Brendan Mercer is at 1,166, not a good number for the 32 car, so he's definitely having a lot of problems there electrically, and that's why he keeps going to the back.
Absolutely, and of course ETV Live, the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting. That's what you're watching right now. ETV, powered by the HD Radio Network since 2008. Short 5 years ago, ETV Live has produced over 700 shows for over 220,000 viewers, and it keeps climbing, Dakota. ETV Live has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online auto sports broadcasting. Book your race today with 3 pricing options. The industry experts, ETV Live is the only choice. Visit us at etv-eplay.net. And I tell you, Dakota, it all goes back to the teamwork and to all the hours and hard work that's been put in by J.D. Webb and John Wessling, both from the beginning, has made this into, as they say, a pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in auto sport broadcasting. I'm happy to be a part of it. I've been with them for over a year. Dakota, you're climbing up on that as well as we go back green.
And I tell you what, just for John, whoa! Big incident on the restart. Big checkup, go, go. Green flag racing there when Cole is looking to the inside of the 58 of Wilson. Already Ronnie Potts is up there. He's now getting past the 13. 8 gets a little sideways. He loses his spot to the 58. And here comes Potts behind him. I was going to say, though, for John Wessling, why don't we go ahead and crank it up?
And again, that crank it up moment, given in part to you by John Wessling, who pushes the buttons week in, week out. And now we're live again here at Richmond International Raceway, where 104 laps have now been completed. Just over about somewhere in the neighborhood of 55, 56 to go, Dakota.
Not many. It's actually 57, 56 to go with the start-finish, or 55 to go with the start-finish line. So 56 to go right now as Cadell leads the way. They go by the slow car. That was Matt Hoffman. I want to say one of his first starts. Started in the back, was impressing me with the way he was running. Now damaged and 35th, 6 laps down currently.
Let's take a look back here. In 9th, 8th position, Steve Gottschalk, the 91 machine, the Nerf car, week in, week out. He's got, I love this car, Dakota. It's got that real retro-looking paint job to it. Nerf car. Behind him, Jose Gonzalez, sporting the 29 machine tonight. He looks down to the bottom underneath him, can't quite find the room. And just behind them, you'll see John Abbott, the Nesquik Chocolate Milk Chevrolet there, in the 10 car. And he's getting ran over by Guy Snyder, who's following hard pursuit in 11th in that lime green 27 Chevy.
The string of really interesting looking cars there, huh?
Absolutely. And there you look at Matt Lacrosse, 12th position right now. Remember a couple of laps or cautions ago, Dakota, he was caught up in an accident. They've got the car back on track. They fixed the damage. And there he is sitting 12th. And now as we're going side-by-side racing up there, in 7th now, Vincent now falling victim to the 29 of a Gonzalez. And now they're 3 wide, looks like, in turn 2, but they'll settle it back out as the 91 Gottschalk lets out of the throttle as Gonzalez moves up 2 spots in a half a lap.
See, Snyder got really loose off of turn number 2, and Vincent has to be careful here. He's going backwards. He may have damage. He cannot get caught up in a wreck. See him get sideways, saves it. And more cars coming underneath him now. He's stuck in a group of racing cars. There's nothing he can do. I think even if he got to the bottom, he might still go backwards. He might have a little bit of damage here that might be hurting that 13 machine.
There we see Abbott sipping the Nesquik straw there, coming out of turn 4 with a little bit of momentum out of Guy Snyder's territory, now back into Gottschalk territory for 8th position. Abbott runs 9th, again Guy Snyder 10th. Outside that, though, Dakota back in 12th and 13th. Here comes John Hanna Jr. in the Autism Awareness Ford Fusion in turn 3 here. He goes up underneath the cross, and here comes the 15 of Brett McBride, also involved.
49 laps remaining here at Richmond International Raceway.
Brett McBride now taking it 4 wide with Joey Gattina that you see in the Coors Light Chevrolet on the outside. He'll stay out of the way as Brett McBride continues to try to pass the 21 of Matt Lacrosse in turns 3. And here's the 7 of Jeff Addison subbing tonight, sticking his nose in it for J. Randall Watkins tonight, as he'll pass Matt Lacrosse in 1.
See Terrell slow on the very outside lane. He's going to, I believe, a lap or 2 down now. Car definitely broken up there. He's actually going to be 2 laps down, I think, right now.
And he will stay out of the way, as you mentioned, as Kel Drez back running 16th makes his way around. Now the 04 of Mike King, a little bit damaged as well, Dakota. You can see him fighting that steering wheel in 27th position there, as he'll work underneath the 20 car of Bobby.
You see, I didn't believe Bobby going backwards. He went back in a hurry, but looking back up front at the battle for the lead, you have Cadell leading the way. Then you have Wilson, who has a lot of company from the 8 of Cole. You see Cole all over the map with that 58. And then you have the 23, I believe he's from Gale Force Racing. That is the 23 of Sam Edwards in the Ream car. He's got a pretty stout running going. I want to say he started 8th position. He's been fluctuating from where he's been running throughout the field. I think it fell outside the top 10 for a little while, back in the top 10. Now he's currently running 4th and coming in a hurry, as it looks like Cole just went around Wilson, and now Edwards is to the bumper of Wilson. It looks like Edwards kind of pushed up the corner there and lost a little bit of time.
Of course, that Run Through the Field update brought to you by HD Radio Network, home of the ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from, including the Big 80s Metal, all HDR Classics, all HDR Country, and more. Take your pick and rock your brains out. HD Radio Network stations are featured on iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listed in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from HDRadioNetwork.com, or take it with you and get the mobile app from TuneIn.com. And HD Radio Network, again, part of ETV Live. As you mentioned, Chad Cole and Cadell up front for the lead, Dakota. It's closing in. Cadell now separated by 2 car lengths. Cole now brings his 8 Chevrolet into the mix, as now is half of a car length, as Justin Wilson in the 58 is also involved as well.
You know, he was even closer than that, and you see, I saw the 11. He dove out the inside. He's really trying to protect that spot and protect that lane. You mentioned Wilson all up in this, as well as the 23 of Sam Edwards. You see him get a little sideways there, but he's still in this battle as well. We have a 4-car battle for the lead right now.
With about 40 to go at the line. Single file for now. Turn 3, the 8 cars slipping up a little bit more there, coming out of turn 4. Can't quite get the Mo, which is momentum for all you young fans out there, as he'll slide his 8 machine down into turn 1, trying to catch the leader, Cadell. But he's going to need some big horsepower to do it, Dakota. I don't see him reeling him in yet.
not just for all you new fans, but for all you fans, momentum. You know, it's Keaton. You never know.
Yeah, you know, the big Mo. Down here in Alabama, when the Alabama Crimson Tide wins the national championship, we like to call it the big Mo. And in racing, you know, momentum's key too. Momentum's big here. Coming off turn 4, we talked about early pre-race. Coming off turn 2, you gotta have the momentum. You gotta have the right rear tire to stick it to the asphalt here at Richmond. Come off the corner with a lot of steam. Give the car its head as you see Cadell working against a lap car there on the backstretch. Now the 8, you'll see him dive underneath the 65 ETV white and red machine of Ed Williams Jr., who runs 24th. Now Wilson will slide his Chevrolet underneath him as well.
Momentum. That's not on the side of the 13 car, who currently runs in the 13th position. He keeps falling back, and he's got more company from the 15, or Rhett McBride, now for 14th.
How about this battle, Dakota, back here shaping up for 15th spot? Cale Dresbach, the 32. Brennan Mercer now looking to the inside. He's going to have the momentum. He'll have the run, but can he hold it? Dresbach trying to fight for all he's worth on the high side, and he'll actually let out of the throttle. And Brennan Mercer will now secure the 15th spot.
Now, if you remember me talking earlier about a number that was dealing with the electrical materials and equipment in the race car for Brennan Mercer was well over what it should be. It's currently running about normal at about 66 being told. So Mercer, it seems to his problem's resolved, and he's moving back up towards the front. 15th now as we have a battle for about 8th position. It's Abbott. He's just around LeVere, and he's now looking to get around Guy Snyder.
Yeah, man on the move. John Abbott, 13th last time out here at Richmond in 2012. And now we're hearing that Doug Fleming's car, Dakota, has been black flagged. With a little bit more information on that, let's go to pit road. Joshua Harbinson, Doug Fleming was black flagged, and then they deemed it unnecessary and giving the black flags back.
Yeah, at first glance they decided that his car was having some problems. It wasn't keeping race speed, but he got it back up to speed and is running fine now, so they pulled the black flag back. So that was a NASCAR call.
Absolutely. As we're still green flag racing here, the laps are continuing to wind down here. Dakota, Chad Cole, 2 car lengths behind race leader. But that's it. 3rd place, nowhere to be found. Justin Wilson actually into the wall a little bit coming off turn 2. As the 23 of Sam Edwards starts to work his Ream machine around him. Ream.com car. 4th spot for him tonight. Good battle going on there for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, you see Edwards is not really leaving the 58 all alone too much to see they now work the lap car down the inside. You'll see 58 throw his car down there. 23 follows. Let's talk about ETV Live 2013 lineup. Monday nights, 9:30. You're watching it right now. Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, sponsored by Bob Earl Racing. Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, ETV Live Team Series Racing, sponsored by the HD Radio Network. Thursday night, 9:30, Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV and Derek Spear Designs. Friday night, 9:45, catch Phil Foltz in the Super Speedway Cup Series. And of course, too, iRacing Today radio show. Catch it on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. prior ETV's coverage of Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. Again, that iRacing Today radio show hosted by Trevor Cameron and Chad Dalton. By the fans and for the fans. This is an unabridged, unbiased, and unadulterated live radio show about everything iRacing up close and not personal. Live call-ins, no rules, no back talk, and no BS. iRacing Today radio show. Again, Monday nights, 8:30 p.m. on ETV Live Radio, etv-eplay.net. Also featured on iTunes, Windows Media Guide, and TuneIn Radio. And get the mobile app from TuneIn.com. You can also search it if you got the Android market. Search TuneIn. I did it the other day, and I tell you what, that app's pretty cool. As we got a wreck on the front stretch that's going to be involved with the 30 machine, or it looks like the 37 car, ATV car. Ben Burnett going to get some time here on the cameras, running 16th spot. He's actually going to get in trouble with another ATV-sponsored car, Dakota, of Ed Williams Jr. Yeah, that's not the first wreck that the 37's been in either, so he could be risking a black flag here, disqualification. That's I want to say wreck number 2. Depending on whether he's found to be at fault for that or not, it's not up to us, up to race officials. I didn't really actually get to see the wreck there, but he drove away from it. We'll have to watch and keep our eye on that. But if you do remember earlier, he actually got in the back of, I want to say, David Lanza maybe, and put him around.
Now, folks, this isn't set up. That's the 37, Ben Burnett, getting into Ed Williams Jr. Both ETV live cars here on ETV. I tell you, though, they're racing hard out there, and Ben Burnett was actually on the lead lap, Dakota. Ed Williams Jr. was actually set to get the lucky dog. If a caution were to come back out, it'll be interesting to see if he'll actually be awarded that. But with that said, looks like the car's coming down pit road, Josh. Looks like some of the leaders stayed out, but majority of the cars coming down to you on pit road.
Yeah, the top two cars are Cadell and Cole. They came in, they're going to get 4 tires and fuel. Like they said before, tires is about everything. And Dwayne Vincent is not happy at all with his car. You saw him going backwards. He has a vibration breaking in, and the car no bite when he comes out. They're going to try and fix that.
Think about it. 25 laps left right now. We'll have about 20 to go when we get back to the green flag or so. Somewhere around that many laps left. Dwayne Vincent, if he can get his car somewhat fixed right now, he might actually be saved because he won't finish as bad as he could. I mean, if this car drives better with it fixed, he can make up a few positions here and not lose as many points.
Yeah, I think Vincent was probably behind that race car, Dakota, wishing for a caution, as we'll see him for the second time come back down pit road, get some damage fixed on that car again, and see if he can't get back out there and show what a points leader's made of. Again, Dwayne Vincent out front in the points with just 8 starts in, Dakota, not counting the duels. 2 pole positions for this guy. 5 wins, 7 top 5s, and of course 7 top 10s, an average finish of 7th. And an average start of 4th, with the most laps led at 486, with an incident ratio at 2.8, Dakota. Dwayne Vincent, so far, short 9 races in, if you count tonight, is getting it done. But with that said, we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. Some green flag racing coming your way with about 35, less than that to go, as we'll see your leader, Jonathan Cadell, with 22 laps to go now being exact number. Chad Cole, Sam Edwards, Justin Wilson, and the 29 of Jose Gonzalez running out the top 5. They're all on fresh tires, and it's going to be some short track racing when we get back. Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it in the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 cars.
And we're back, and green flag just waved as Jonathan Cadell to another good restart for him, Dakota. But remember, fresh tires now. Chad Cole, second place. Kenny running down. He's in turn 3. Also, Sam Edwards. That car looks good on every corner. He's in 3rd. Joshua Harbison, we just saw pit stops there. These cars, all 4 fresh Goodyears. Talk to us about how the crew chiefs talked with strategy. If a caution were to come back, will we see these guys stay out, or we'll see them come back down?
Track position right now is everything, so it's going to be all about staying on track position, the 4 tires.
And Josh, just as I said that, the 14 machine back in 32nd, Joey Gattina, brings out the caution. And the 81 also involved, the 81 being Steven Alamindo. He's back in 30th as well. Now, with that being said, Josh, they just pitted. And as you mentioned, track positions, everything, I don't think we'll see them back down pit road either.
No, everybody that came in, they have fresh tires. They know they can make it till the end on these tires. The fastest laps were the first 2, but the tires are going to last until the rest of the race. And they'll probably be able to drive them as hard as they want to for the rest of the race, as long as there's no more caution.
And I'll tell you
As
what,
long as... Go ahead, Dakota.
Right, that you actually saw though, Keaton. If you look back here, lap 129, 32nd position, 14 car coming off turn number 2. The 12 actually came up into the 14, put him in the wall. And that's what put him down to the 81.
Ooh. Yeah, Joey Gattina back in 32nd position, now being shown 13 laps down. You know, Joey Gattina is one of those guys, Dakota, that week in, week out, he'll put it all over his Facebook and spread the word that he's going to be in a race. And I tell you, he just can't ever catch a break. It just seems like he just can't catch a break. Of course, now he's one of the comers tonight. He had his best season finish last week at Chicago, finished in the top 15, Joey Gattina did. But tonight, Richmond, I think things are going to go back south for him. Of course, he is from the south. He's part of the Dale Jarrett Racing Adventure gang. He actually gets to drive around Talladega quite a bit. And Richmond, I tell you, a little different than Talladega. And he'll be the first to probably tell you.
And you know what, actually, we're going to go ahead and try to talk to Joey Gattina here after that on-track incident. Really unfortunate incident for the driver of the number 14 machine, but he's now standing up here with Michael Keaton.
Joey Gattina, we just talked about what you do for part of your living there, the Dale Jarrett Racing Adventure around Talladega, but I tell you, Richmond, quite the different track, huh?
Yeah, very much.
You know, Joey, you're one of the comers tonight. You finished season best last week at Chicagoland in the top 15. Tonight, you come into Richmond with high expectations, and then you get caught up in a couple early accidents. Of course, this latest one here. And, Joey, it just seems like week in, week out, except for Chicagoland, you just can't get the north to go south.
Yeah, starting out at Daytona, it went south, and it's just been doing it ever since. There was 30-something in points and just trying to finish races, and we got to the 15th in points as of a few weeks ago, and then grabbed our, I guess, first or second top 10 last weekend, and here we are again. I was just riding, I had nowhere to go when that wreck happened, and I really didn't feel like I hit that hard, but it destroyed the car in the first wreck. I couldn't even drive it, so elected to pit, try to get it repaired so I wouldn't cause any more havoc on the leaders or whatever, and I don't know what happened there, but it's just a good ending to the night. I'm done.
Now, next week, Joey, Talladega, your home track, my home track. You know a lot about it. What can we expect out of the Gattina group next week?
I would like to think that it's going to be great next week. I mean, I got probably more laps than some of the Cup guys there at that track, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Anytime I go to a super speedway, I get a chance to shine. So we're going to put it back together, bring some of that 200-mile-an-hour duct tape on the Coors Light Chevy, and try to go back at them next week.
And before we let you go real quick, Joe, you got anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all our admins here. Throw a shout out to Patrick Hahi and Greg Netherwood. They did a great job the first segment for us, and want to thanks to Nate Bowers and Steve Herring. They've done a wonderful job tonight stepping in here. John Abbott, all the guys here do a great job, and that's about it, man. All our drivers, TV station, thank you, everybody.
Absolutely. There you have it, folks. Joey Gattina, who pulled his car down at the garage area and called it quits. He's showing 34th right now on the racetrack, 16 down. But with a little bit more to go as green flag now comes back out once more. Goodell is the man out front. Jonathan, the 11 black machine that you see there, as the 23 car, Sam Edwards now putting the bait to the hook of the 8 machine as he goes underneath that at 2.
Yeah, 23 is not going to go down without a fight, and it doesn't matter. He lost that fight. He got a little sideways. That cost him big time. Here come the 8. Chad Cole around the 23. 23 now going to fall back to 3rd. And that clears Chad Cole down to the 2nd position. He kind of falls back in line, tries to run back down the 11 car.
And here comes the man out of Puerto Rico, sporting the different flag here tonight at Richmond as caution comes back out. Gonzalez will take over 3rd spot, but not before the 69 of Joseph Hayes in 21st position brings us out Another caution here at Richmond, Dakota.
Yeah, caution will fly to lap 149, position number 21 through turns 1 and 2. 69 gets a lot of company from underneath, and that company just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. We'll cut.
Is that Kurt Busch?
Turn around to 69 there.
Was that a M&M's car there?
Don't honestly know who that was. That was a unique looking car.
Yeah, looks like the 69, Joseph Hayes. There you see him, the green car, top screen there. Then you see the M&M's car. We're looking at the 69 there. Then there it is. There you go.
5 car. 23rd position on that restart. He dives the car in, and it just ends up getting to the 69, but he sneaks away there.
Now, Terry Lane, Dakota, I believe, is 7 for the 05 of Chris Cable, if I'm not mistaken.
I would say you're right there.
Yeah, and of course, now both of those cars were on the lead lap. Joseph Hayes, 69, car now being shown 26th spot, as he'll work his Chevy down pit road to get some damage fixed. But back out front, just the top 5 here for you folks. Jonathan Cadell, Chad Cole. Here's something interesting. Man out of Puerto Rico, Jose Gonzalez, sporting another car number here tonight. Little inside joke with him. And that's a good spot for him, Dakota. 3rd spot. Maybe take the underneath move on Chad Cole into 2nd as the green flag falls out. We'll see. Sam Edwards just now being shifted back from 3rd to 4th during the green flag short run we had. And now Justin Wilson. We've seen him in the top 10 all year long. He's dropped back out of it. He's just within striking distance with a good finish here tonight. He can climb back in it. He sits 5th.
And I'll tell you what, there's one guy that's really hating these caution, and it's got to be a 20th place car, the 13th Dwayne Vincent points leader. You know, less than 10 laps to go, and it's time to go. He's back at 20th with a damaged race car.
Yeah, that's not really good for him. Back in 20th spot, that means about 16 points he would lose. A little quick math here, 34 minus 16. 18. We could go into next week at Talladega with Vincent, 18-point lead if it were to finish as is. But Vincent could get some spots, or he could lose some spots, Dakota. And you've got Cole up there in 2nd. He could get into a little fight up there in the lead and wreck himself out, or win the race and gain even more points.
You know, the way that his hood was, I don't know, there's a weird graphic on his hood. I was looking at it at a certain angle, and it almost looked like it fell off. And that's, you know, something with the damage, but the car's still intact. He could get into an incident with the race leader. They could finish worse than, you know, the points leader, Dwayne Vincent, and not make up any points at all. So I mean, anything can happen here, especially for the front runners. Cole's going to be careful though.
How about this? This just radioed in from Jonathan Cadell to his crew chief and spotter. His wife just plugged in his communication headset. So a little bit of a maneuver. Hey, I'm going to get an interview type situation there, Dakota. Is Jonathan Cadell? Does he think he's secured up there, getting the race communication set up for possibly a 1, 2, 3 interview? I like that.
That's a cool deal.
Getting it ready. Get it ready. Yeah, hang on to it.
6 more laps to go at the start-finish line here, Pete.
Oh man, I didn't even notice that. 6 laps to go. We're in the single digits, folks, as they are 50 miles an hour pace speed down the backstretch into the famous Turn 3 here at Richmond. The All-American Racetrack, I like to call it. Forget Texas. Here we go. Turn 3, Turn 4. Cadell, green flag racing. Cole looked like he startled there a little bit, Dakota. It's the 29 car, Jose Gonzalez, like I mentioned, underneath in 2.
But Cole not giving up. He's still working the outside lane. He made it work last time. He gets loose. He saves it. Still working the outside lane, but now he's got the 58 on the inside.
Oh, buddy. Hang on to it, Cole, as caution comes back out. Oh.
Big wreck. And it looks like Matt Ross, I want to say, 17th position. Lap 155 coming off of turn number 4, but it's not. It doesn't start with him. It starts with the 15 in the 5. John Hanna Jr., Rhett McBride, Steve Goschuk involved, and they were about 12th position heading into turn number 1 and 2, lap 155. You see Hanna Jr. throws the car in there. collects the 15, basically the 91, and then a handful of cars that were just had nowhere to go. You see Dwayne Vincent sneaks through. All right, he might actually pick up a spot or two out of that.
There you see it, Rick McBride, 15 car, going to get plowed in by Matt Lacrosse mid-screen. Watch this, boom! Nearly puts the 15 on the roof. And then you'll see the 21 Matt Lacrosse get shoved by Kel Dresbach in the Skunk Works 45 machine. Also involved is the M&M's car once more tonight. Down below you see the 36 car escaping harm's way. The 28 of Bobby Wetzel, the Haviland car, also escaping. Man, good looking view there by John Wessling, who's working the buttons. There you see him up top. If you're watching the E1 or the broadcast, you'll see John up there pushing the ETV broadcasting studios left and right with, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 milers. Give them a wave, John.
And can we get a round of applause from John Wessling as well for Michael Keaton counting?
Absolutely. Folks, don't count out the Hammer. The Hammer Radio Show with Mark Bratcher, Greg McKinney, Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. on ETV Live Radio. The underground and over-the-top, door slamming, bumper banging, wicked loose, and 3 wide. Join Mark and Greg for sideways, wall banging, nose hold bar radio show about riding, racing every way, which way but loose. The Hammer. Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. on ETV Live Radio, powered by the HG Radio Network. And Dakota, is this one wrapped up?
I do believe we'll have at least a one-lap shootout. I can't confirm that, but I want to say that's about right, being as we got the yellow with 5 laps remaining, generally about 4-lap pace laps, so we should have about a one-lap shootout. You mentioned the Hammer Radio Show. Mark Bratcher actually ran second in the ETV Series race this last Tuesday night at Talladega. A lot of the guys from actually the Real Sim Racing, they have 2 teams over there, 8 drivers every week competing on Tuesday nights. Don't forget to tune in. I believe it is exactly 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday night. You can catch, generally 8 drivers from Real Sim Racing. I'm sure one of your favorites is there. Chad Cole, not quite there. Dwayne Vincent, I believe he actually is there. So tune in, don't miss it.
And I believe that the Real Sim Racing officials have just declared that the race is over. The pace car lights would stay on, Dakota, which gives the checkered flags to Jonathan Cadell, and what a deserving win that cadet deserves. Awesome win, Jonathan Cadell. Started on the pole tonight, folks. The 11 car. There you see him cross the finish line, checkered flag with the caution yellow in the air as well. Cadell will win here at Richmond International Raceway. Cadell, we heard the communications with the crew chief and team spotter there that your wife was setting up the communications to possibly chat with us. Man, I tell you, did you think you had it won with about 10 to go?
Sir, I don't really know. This has been crazy. My mic has been really nuts. I had to get my wife to move my laptop out here to communicate, but I've had an injury to my right arm for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't been doing much iRacing, but I did a lot of practicing by myself, and I guess I focused enough on Richmond to come out here and sneak a victory. I don't know how I did it.
John, I'm going to tell you what, we watched you all race long, man. 19.927, wasn't nobody near that time. Qualifying, you put her on the pole, you win here at Richmond, race number 9. Is this the race that's going to get you rebounded back in the right direction, head north and start climbing the ladder in the top 10 in the points here in the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series?
Man, I really hope so. I mean, I have a long time to go, and hopefully my schedule works out to where I can compete full-time here. I still got a lot of nights on Monday nights where I have to work, but hopefully we can put this Strutmasters.com Chevrolet up here in the chase, and when the chase comes around, we can show them what we're really made of.
I tell you what, Jonathan, we just saw a lot of the drivers go by you, give you the big bump on the back there, rub your door a little bit. I tell you, I don't think of a driver that deserves this win more than you, man. I know week in, week out, you put forth the effort, you serve in the military, your wife's there helping you out, running back and forth, getting the communications lined up. The 11 car, Victory Lane, I know you're pumped up. Now let's talk Dega. you know, let's move forward here and talk Dega. Is Dega on your mind?
It's on my mind. Restrictor plate is definitely not my specialty. Me and my teammate Eric Arnold were running there, coming for the win at Daytona earlier this season, and we had the win going for us, and I lost the draft a little bit, and we got caught up in the big wreck at the end, and it seems like I can run decent until the very end of the restrictor plate race, so I'm just hoping to survive at Talladega. Now that I got a win underneath my belt, I can just try to look forward and keep good finishes.
Absolutely. And of course, before we let you go real quick, Jonathan, we know you just mentioned Eric Arnold, teammate there in the 47 Navy Nuke car. You got anybody else you'd like to thank for tonight?
I'd like to thank Scott Beatles and Matt Lofton at sharpmasters.com. They actually have, sponsorship with me. I tried to get them involved in sim racing, and they're very, very looking forward to what they can see in sim racing and how they can move forward in that. And I'd like to thank Bob Oil Racing. I actually have me a Bob Oil Racing VRC chassis sitting right next to me right now, and they sponsor this series. I'd like to give them a big shout out, and my wife for helping set these communications up, give me an interview with you guys.
Absolutely, Jonathan. I caught it in the middle of the race, man. When we heard that the communications went through, I said, you know what? I bet Cadell's in that seat right now, knowing that he's got that 11 wrapped up in victory lane tonight. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Bud, and hopefully we can see Victory Lane some more this season.
Well, there you have it, folks. Jonathan Cadell, the fastest tonight in qualifying, and Dakota, he will win it at Richmond under the lights. Short track racing style. With that being said, we're going to step away real quick, take a quick commercial, come back with your second place finisher, Chad Cole, and hopefully Eric Brundy's, Jose Gonzalez, who finished second, and Justin Wilson. I'm looking at the qualifying still. Let me get over here to the race. Jose Gonzalez, who'll finish second, and the 58 car of Justin Wilson, who'll finish third. And welcome back, folks, to ETV's live post-race coverage of Richmond International Raceway and the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, sponsored by Bob Earl. Race number 9, again, Richmond, 160 laps, where Jonathan Cadell would start on the pole and finish it there in victory lane. Second place to 29 tonight, Jose Gonzalez standing by, second place finisher with Dakota Ehrman.
And I know he wants to sue Michael Keaton. He got his number stolen. He couldn't really basically run in his usual 26, but he showed up at the 29. He made it work, kind of came out of nowhere at the end of the race, and beat out guys like Chad Cole and Justin Wilson to finish second.
That's right, man. I got my number stolen. I don't know who did that.
And, man, was joking with you during the commercial break there. How'd you actually manage to come out of nowhere and finish in that second position? Didn't really see you all night long.
Yeah, well, I started. I forget where I started, but I know I was fast today, but I made a mistake. I took one right rear tire on the first caution just to try it out because I didn't practice that much. So it didn't work because I started going backwards, and so I had to get all those positions back. I did stay out in one of the cautions and got like 20 positions on everybody, and then we got a good run, so I was able to take 4 tires. And I don't know, I started passing tires. I really don't know how I did that.
And man, you actually started in the 11th position. Do you feel accomplished starting 11th, finishing second?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wasn't very comfortable, with Richmond. I'm not that good at Richmond. I don't know. I guess I was doing something right, and it's good for me because last week was pretty bad. I had bad luck, and I actually was going for the sweep of Chicago. I won the trucks race, and Outlaw I won the asphalt assault. I was up in the lead, the second place in last Monday, and I got wrecked there in the restart. So it's good. I got a little bounce there in second place. I'm happy.
I mean, are there any shout-outs you'd like to throw out there?
Oh yeah, Mr. Frank Coons. We got a new team, and we're called the Coons Goons. And his company, Axo Sanitary Services, affiliated with Hippie Doug and Hippie's Paint Shop, and we made this new team, and hopefully it's a good sign for us.
All right, thank you, Jose, and we'll see you in Talladega Super Speedway, Michael Keaton.
All right, take care.
And now sending by here, 58 car, Justin Wilson, another one of those guys who come out of nowhere. Mr. Wilson, congratulations, man. Podium finish tonight. You put the 58 Chevrolet in 3rd spot.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think I was going to actually finish up there after that late caution, sitting there in 5th, but got lucky and somebody had a bad start and I was able to pass both of them there. And then that late caution there really helped out.
Absolutely. Now, Wilson, no stranger to being fast here at Richmond. Practice-wise, you were 3rd fastest on the board, qualifying, of course, 4th, and then, of course, now finishing 3rd in the race. You just couldn't get that number 1 spot tonight, huh?
No, Jonathan was very fast. I was able to get right on him a couple of times, but I was burning him up just catching him. I mean, he had it figured out, so congrats to him on that. But I just came in this race hoping for a top 10 because my last 2 weeks have been brutal for me, knocked me way back into the points. But this is a very good rebound. Couldn't have asked for a better finish.
Also, notably, one of our comers tonight, Justin. Fabulous job. 132 points back from Vincent. Also 2 poles so far on the season. You're week in, week out fast with an average finish of 15th. It's just converting those over in the top 5s is where it's going to climb you up into the poles. Now you're 2 back from Jonathan Cadell in 13th position in the points. After tonight, I think you may secure in the top 10. How does that look for you going into Talladega next Monday night?
Well, knowing that I love super speedways and Daytona was a very big race for us. We ran, me and my teammates, we ran up front that whole race. I'm really looking forward to it. I got my pole at Daytona, so hopefully I can do it again at Talladega. But a top 10 in points would be great. When I was in the top 10 a couple races ago, it's wonderful, and it sucks that I'm that far behind, but it doesn't really help that I missed a race and didn't get any points for it. But hopefully I can get in the top 10. That's my goal, is to stay in the top 10 in points. But week in, week out, I think we are a good top 10, a lot of times a top 5 driver, so really looking forward to the rest of the year.
And Justin, before we let you go, man, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank RSR and my teammates, Ben and CJ. We do a lot of practice and get ready for these races, and I think that's about it.
Well, there you have it, folks. The 58 machine, Justin Wilson, coming home 3rd tonight at Richmond. Next week, Talladega Super Speedway, the big racetrack of the year, I like to call it. Watch for the big one, of course. This is ETV, powered by the HD Radio Network. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, of course, Bob Earl Racing, sponsoring the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series 2 years in a row. Gary Mercer Trucking, Inside Sim Racing, ETV Live, of course, iLeagueRace.com, the iRacing Today radio show, Cora Championship Online Racing Association, the HD Radio Network, Derek Spear Designs, Tim Corner Motorsports, the Hammer Radio Show as well. And for me, Mike Keaton, up in the booth tonight with me alongside Dakota Ehrman, down on pit road, Joshua Harbinson, John Wessling that you see up there in the top, pushing the buttons, making all 5 of those monitors work to his liking. We'll see you next Monday night at Talladega.